prepare yourself for a special build showcase today, especially for all of you Schneider enthusiasts that enjoy high-speed, close-range combat armored cores, and to my fellow model kit enjoyers too. Hold up, the Red Comet. That is pretty funny because not long ago I got done recording a video for a build in relation to the Red Comet. I'm not sure if it'll be up on the channel just yet, but keep an eye out for that one. This build, however, it's gonna be funny saying this out loud, based on a recently announced model kit. Yeah, you heard that right. As soon as I saw this thing, I was thinking, is it good in Armored Core 6 ranked PvP? So here I am to answer that question and see what it's capable of. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Ooh, the Zimmerman on top of the Slicer feels like overkill, though. Which is even funnier when you take into account this is basically free advertising for a model kit. But hey, I'm going to throw it out there. If Kotobukiya wanted to sponsor me, I wouldn't say no. Especially for a Balaam-themed kit, I would proudly represent the Red Guns. Great, now I want to see them release a Balaam kit. I only have high expectations for something like that. Alright, can I get it for game now? Assault armor. You know what? I might switch to that. I think that'll be better for this loadout. Also, this Armored Core's announcement has even led to fan theories for it, which is pretty cool, even though it technically has official lore behind it, if you want to call it that, which I will share during the build breakdown, so stick around for that. Either way, GG's, love seeing a build that's inspired by the Red Comet. As a Gundam fan, I approve. This looks a lot like a Japanese player's wheelchair kite that I faced a little while ago. I could be wrong, but if I see them backpedaling, or backtreading to be more accurate, it's going to be very difficult to keep up. Yep, there it is. But if I can squeeze in a few Zimmerman shots... No, you got it. That ground speed I'm not going to be able to keep up, no matter how lightweight or fast I am. So here's the new strategy. Take cover and launch plasma missiles. Rinse and repeat. Will it be enough for the health lead? I don't know, but I'm still sticking to this. Wheelchair builds are very nimble on the ground. Trying to do the same to me, I see. But if you're in optimal range, I will sneak in a few hits. I see you're trying to pull off the same strategy as I am. Making good use of cover. Alright, this is it. I have to go all out. Kick landing. Zimmerman. Missiles. Laser Slicer, come on. Oh, and by the way, I switched to assault armor. Haha, so glad I did. If I hadn't finished them off right then and there, they would have proceeded to run off into the sunset. But just goes to show I can deal with this. Alright, cool. CQC or ranged, I got this. If you adapt your strategy and never give up, you will apparently make your opponent rage quit. This was definitely not on my bingo card today, but I've seen it a few times pretty recently. Oh well. Well, I fought this player and that double melee build earlier, and spoiler alert, I got destroyed. I mean, that is a very optimal loadout for double melee. They're super quick, the charged Harris is scary, very easy to follow up with either of his melee weapons. So I have to try to play behind cover or use elevation to make it so the charged Harris or Pulse Blade won't catch me off guard. Ooh. That could have been bad. Counterattack with the Slicer. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. That's why I'm rocking assault armor, baby. Let's get it. Whew. Strong start. Love to see that. There is very little room for error for these kinds of double melee builds. But I like the strategy from the first round. I'm going to do the same thing. Make use of cover and take advantage of my elevation. The charged pulse blade is terrifying. If they hit me, I couldn't go in for the finish, sadly, but if they hit me with the charged pulse blade, I'm stunned long enough for them to hit me with the charged Harris, and then they finish me with the pile bunker. And basically, it's GG's after that. Oh, that could have been it right there. Literally what I was afraid of. But, oh, I'm sorry. Did you think you were going somewhere? GG's. That was a huge turnaround compared to our first outing. Nicely done. Now that is a classic BVO build right there. And to think it used to be one of the best meta builds back in the day. The others, of course, were Nebula Tank, Dual Zims, and Lamb Rats. BVO is still good, it's just not nearly as robust. Now the question is, who's going to get the first stagger? Because that might determine who wins this round, and whoa, that could have been it. Glad I saved my expansion. Hold up! Oh, full slicer combo landing was for everything there. We were both trading so many hits, I didn't even realize I was in the red. It literally came down to who was going to finish with their melee punish, and I'm glad it was me. Like I said, BVO, still a solid contender. Just struggles against some of the more prominent builds out there. I do want to maintain some aerial superiority and keep my distance so I'm not insta-staggered again. But we both know that this is for everything. Nope. Afraid I'm going to have to deny that. And finishing it off with the Zimmerman. Like I said too, Slicer into Zimmerman is really potent. Another run back with an opponent when I was using Pulse Armor, but this time I got that Zenkai boost. I'm Vegeta and you're Zarbon in this scenario. Any Dragon Ball Z fans out there? Otherwise, I'm sure that reference is going to go completely over your head. But in other words, I got stronger during our last encounter, so I know what to expect from you. The Laser Blade is the scariest thing to deal with. I'm going to try to lure it out. Just like that, but make sure I don't get hit in the process. Ooh, the double, that's not good. But no punishing follow-up. However, no siree. Good thing I didn't follow through entirely with the Slicer, or that would have been incredibly awkward. Was able to take the first round. I told you that Zenkai boost is in full effect. There is no way I'm going to lose this round. I say that ignoring the fact that I can still very well lose this. But I can't be thinking about that. Not now. I do want to get closer to maximize damage, but I know that Laser Blade is waiting to hit me. Gonna have to rely on some range pressure with the missiles, but also try to bait the melee attack. Or cancel it outright, because if I got hit by both of those attacks, I would have been very annoyed by it. I'm so glad these legs have good jumping capability, and you wasted your expansion, so it's going to be a field day for me. Good game. Right at the end of the Slicer combo, too. Well, in a nutshell, this Schneider build is the real deal. No, I fought you way too many times not to expect some serious lagging. Oh, it is way too late in the evening for me to deal with this. And I've read some comments asking why don't I just leave when fighting these kinds of opponents. And normally, I enjoy the challenge and it makes for good content. But right now, I just cannot be bothered. So I'm going to keep an eye out. As soon as I see a lag spike, I'm going to bounce. I'll make an exception. If you've seen any of my previous matches with this player, you know it is not a fun time. But surprisingly, so far, I don't see anything out of the ordinary, but the match is still young, of course. Oh, you were just out of reach. But now would be around the time you'd probably resort to lagging. Nothing, huh? Is it possible that maybe, just maybe, you turned a new leaf? Or perhaps invested in a stable internet connection? Question mark? Getting ahead of myself here. They could resort to lagging in literally a blink of an eye. In fact, the idea of that happening is more stressful than the match itself. If I can get a quick stagger here, it will be game. No lagging whatsoever, go figure, but at least it was smooth sailing, and that is all I could ask for. As I said at the start of the video, this entire build is based on a model kit. What can I say? I love to experiment in AC6. I took a couple of creative liberties with the generator and FCS as that information isn't known, but I essentially copy and pasted what Rusty used, as this build feels like an improved variant of the original Steel Haze. Put your pitchforks down, we all love his AC, but it does have some flaws, and I feel like this build improves upon that. And I did mention quote-unquote lore, I say that loosely, but on the model kit's official webpage, it briefly states, with supervision from Software, the color scheme has been designed to resemble a standard corporate issue AC. That's the key word there, different from the usual lineup. Now, some of you might be going, the weapons don't make sense then. Where are the energy weapons that Schneider or Arquebus use? It's actually not uncommon if you look back at old gen armored cores like the Crest assault type. It's literally a Crest AC with Mirage weapons like the Kurosawa. So really, continuing the trend in 6th gen is not too far-fetched. It's cool to see model kits like this, and hopefully a Balaam one in the future. Fingers crossed. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Till next time, take care.